Welcome back to Velcom and the Phakisa Freeway and more action. Lance Isaacs. He is fired up after that win, but we now head into the V8 Supercars, proudly brought to you by AMC. A slightly diminished field in terms of what we saw at Kyalami, but a couple of new drivers coming into play. Thomas Reeb joining us after a little bit of an out, and he's back in the Coca-Cola sponsored machine. Remember at Kyalami, Benjamin Morgenroot very lucky to survive the second heat of the day after coming in early one lap before and thinking he'd won the race. Wanted that was going to be the case here today. In race one, it turned out to be an awesome affair, and Thomas Reeb already showing his prowess. But at the front end, it was all about the battle between Benjamin Morgenroot, Mackie Adlam, and Franco de Mateo. Franco de Mateo doing it all right and eventually finishing up ahead of Mackie Adlam, which will put him and Adlam at the back of the field for race number 2. As we go on board here with Adlam on the start of race 2, and as they go down towards turn 1, already starting to find a way around the outside, and can he possibly go and hole-shot it from the back end of the field? Not quite, but very close.
Now Adlam is trying to make that move, and 3 V8 cars around turn 1 just do not go together, so they all fall in line for now. But it is Compan who's out front, Adlam on the inside, and look out for Compan's teammate there, it's Terry Wolford. He's now starting from the back of the grid, having not made race 1, coming through the field, and you could see these V8s just thriving here at the Phakisa Freeway, using all 20 million horsepower that's under that hood.
Look at how they come through there, and you can see Thomas Reeb looking to go through early on. Spinner, Compan spins
20
out.
million horsepower.
There you go, a little bit too hard on the right-hand side of the pedal, and unfortunately catching you out down into the toe of the boot. Benjamin Morgenroot starting to make up ground. So is Franco de Mateo. The Italian stallion coming along with Morgenroot. The two of them going with Wolford. Wolford having to start from the back due to some gearbox issues, and now looking to get to the front as rapidly as possible, and he's right on the tailpiece there of Thomas Reeb as they come down the back straight. Oh, a big look on the inside there from de Mateo. Couldn't quite make it stick. Morgenroot kept him at bay.
Adlam has checked out of this race. It looks like he's comfortably out front there, but Di Matteo looks like he's trying to make a couple of forceful moves to get to the front end of this field. And look at that massive battle. Compan's dropped a little bit further down after a brilliant start, but we know how hard these V8s are around Phakisa Freeway. You've got to have it about you. There is Benjamin Morgenroot after that mistake at Kyalami. Doesn't want to make a repeat of that, and looks like he's fighting through and into that top 3.
Thomas Reeb on the inside of Compan. That's Alki Compan in the black and green cat as they go into turn 1. The Coca-Cola machine nearly squeezing him out. Just couldn't quite squeeze out and get through, but it was definitely a big move on, and it could possibly be happening down here at turn 2. Look at Terry Wolford though. Wolford's on the inside of Thomas Reeb. Reeb gives him some room. He dives on the inside, and opportunistic driving coming out of Di Matteo to get through there on Benjamin Morgenroot.
Yeah, one of the favorite overtaking spots here. You really do line it up coming out of turn 1, use that little flick-flack, and then just shove it on the inside, and making it stick is very hard there, but trying to get as much grip out of these tyres as possible. Tyre wear is going to be a playing factor in the closing stages of this race, so I wonder if Adlam out front is maybe just using a little bit too much tyre, extending that lead.
Now he's trying to get away, and there's a possibility that he might just eat those tyres up. Good recovery here from the 17 car. As you can see, Piers Compan just making his way through the field. It is Adlam, but they have caught him. Look at Terry Wolford. Wolford is closing in on him rapidly and starting to close down there on the Adlam auto machine. It's Wolford in second place, and just behind them looks like Franco de Mateo is coming on. And Wolford's getting sideways now. So there's a good possibility that those tyres are taking strain. It is a very hard-wearing circuit, this Phakisa Freeway, particularly on these big gumballs that these guys run.
But he's running almost a second, 2 seconds faster than the man out front. So Adlam running into those tyre wear issues that we thought would come. Terry Wolford is now closing down that gap, and you can see really the extra corner speed that he's able to carry. He's got more grip a little bit further down here. That is Reeb now also struggling with some tyre wear. It looks like he's dropped out of that podium position.
Yeah, he's fighting with Alki, and Alki keeping him honest for now. Look at that. Wolford's close right onto the back end of Adlam. Adlam definitely battling now with some tyre wear. Wolford looking for a chance here to possibly steal the second win after not competing in the first race. It'll be an awesome turnaround if he can keep it all together. And look at the pressure that he's applying. Oh, the V8 thunder here in full effect as they come out of that turn by Coca-Cola. And it's Adlam squirreling out there, trying to fend off the attack from Terry Wolford. And there goes Wolford around the outside into the first of the Incinis.
Oh, that's just extra tyre grip that Wolford's got, but he's used it to perfection here. It's all about racecraft here. Adlam trying to get away at the front and just burnt those tyres. You could hear him coming out of the Coke corner, just begging for traction out of that car, not getting it. And now he's dropped into the clutches of Di Matteo.
De Mateo looking to pounce. Behind them, it's a good charge here from Thomas Reeb. Reeb has got through on Alki Compan and on PS Compan and looking for a chance now to possibly get up onto the podium. Let's see what's going to happen in the closing stages. Here's Wolford opening up a margin. Adlam has gone. He's not even in third place anymore. He has disappeared. There we go. He's under attack from Benjamin Morgenroot. Morgenroot now into the mix. This is a great V8 battle here.
Out front, Terry Wilford looks comfortable at the moment. Just looking at that car, it did sound like he had a little bit of hiccups going through the gearbox there, so we're going to have to watch out for that. But certainly now that battle for the podium is more than ever going into this race. Now Thomas Reeb, he was closing down on that gap, but just trying to manage it. It's Wilford! Terry Wilford is out of this race. I could hear there were gearbox troubles on that car, and Morgan Root.
Morgan Root spinning out.
Two big contenders for that podium now out of this race.
Safety car going to be called for here, and they're going to bring everybody back together, and they're probably going to end up behind the safety car, which is going to give Di Matteo an easy victory ahead of Mackie Adlam and Thomas Reeb. Adlam very lucky to survive there with the tyre degradation on his car, but his second place will definitely keep him at the front end of this championship. Reeb in third, Kumpan ahead of Herbst for the top 5. Let's catch up with Terry Wilford and find out what went wrong in race 2.
Yeah, I started at the back of the grid and had a fantastic, I just made my way through. I tried to stay out of guys' ways and not bump and things like that. And next minute I saw I was in the front and it pulled a good lead and was just nursing the car home, just wanted to peel off lap after lap. And then next minute I heard the gearbox, the spare gearbox, the old faithful, let go. So it's one of those weekends that you sort of have to put behind you. But at least we showed that this car is just the pace. Kyle Army, it was flying here again. Reliability, we must just get that sorted out. But thanks to Fuchs Lubricants, they always provide me with the best. I appreciate it.
All this extreme festival action from Phakisa Freeway proudly brought to you by Car Care Clinic, AMC, and Bridgestone Motorcycle Tires.